Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha. Jai Ma Kaali, Jai Ma Kaali, Jai Ma Kaali, Shauru Rama Bhima Gorastam, Hansa Pichata Prakati Dharma Krishna Munda Malandara, Devi Lojiko Deguma Section Vasina. So we're back on yet another video. As we go on the path of MAA Kaali, and as we understand her role throughout the history of the entire cosmic events that we learned through our Puranas, the Itihasas, who she was and how she was the pivotal turning point itself in the entire Devaloka itself, and how she is the Divine Mother and it is all her play. She is the cause and she is the effect, and she is the destruction. She is the reason why things happen. She is the reason why things don't happen. She is the reason why the initial movement of something happens. She is also the reason why it comes to a stop. Everything is MAA Kaali. In Kali Yuga, we'll come to a point where we realize that everything is her playing around. She uses Mahadeva when there is a need to use Mahadeva. She also uses Mahavishnu when there is a need for Mahavishnu. She also sends Brahma here and creates things as and when needed. Towards the end of Kali Yuga, you will realize that is it really Kali Yuga, and was it just that the rishis were they finding it unacceptable within themselves that is it Kali Yuga or is it Kali Yuga? Debatable point. You cannot say that where they were finding it difficult that when Kali is being projected as an asura and Kali is the Divine Mother, were they not able to accept that these are both actually it is Kali? Is it her Yuga? Is that what it means? So, as we go on further, maybe 1 lakh years later in Kali Yuga, look at these birds. Suddenly they're so loud that I can't even hear myself. I don't know if the microphone is picking up. Some birds have become so loud that I'm not even able to hear my own voice. Don't know what bird it is. So, as the video title, you would have read the title. We are going to understand the role of Parashurama, how he is the real Dharma Raksha, the preserver god that Mahavishnu is, and how he is the total Amsha of Dharma Raksha itself. And he is the one you should invoke if there is anything to do with Dharma Raksha, because he is the core Dharma Raksha Tattva of Mahavishnu, which is the core Tattva itself. Mahavishnu is Dharma Raksha. There is nobody else who takes preservation, Dharma Raksha, preservation Raksha beyond Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu's entire purpose itself is preservation of the balance of adharma and adharma balance. He keeps it going. Even when adharma is struggling, he pushes it up, he pushes. He sets the order. So Mahavishnu's entire role itself is that. So how Parashurama, why is he still around? This is the most important question. Why is Parashurama still here? Why did he not go back when Sri Rama and Sri Krishna left? Why is Treta and Dwapar Yuga to be considered as now extinct? We'll go into this in detail. So like yesterday's video, I was telling you that MAA Kaali was the nimitta because of which Parashurama began, Bhagwan Parashurama began his entire purpose of birth. So he was born out of a blessing of a rishi. He was supposed to be a Kshatriya, but born into a Brahmin. This itself is an indication that just because you are born into some specific arrangements in life, you might still be born there for a purpose. Just because you are not born into a specific Kula, don't say that you are not eligible to worship MAA Kaali. This is a message. Just because Parashurama was born as a Brahman, but he was supposed to go into the Kshatriya Kula. There itself, mother has played her game. This is also a message. Just because you are not from this Sampradaya, don't think that you are not eligible. Just because that Guru has turned you away and he has not responded to you, don't think you are not eligible. You never know what is your purpose. Until you jump into the pond, you never know whether you can swim or not. This itself is a message. Parashurama's first message, birth message is, just because you are not born into the right setup, do not think that just because you're stuck in the ABCD structure, you're stuck in ABCD structure. No. Just because every single one of your relatives is an A, B, C, D, you might still be something extremely magnificent, something who will burst out into a completely different direction. This is the first message of the birth of Bhagavan Parashurama. Just because your birth has defined you that you should be a black color shoe, doesn't mean you will be a black color shoe. You might be something totally different. Understand the first message of Parashurama's birth itself. This learning you should take. Number 2, MAA Kaali in the form of Kamadhenu, the cow which is the name MAA Kaali itself, triggers his birth purpose, and then he begins the journey of taking on the Kshatriya kings, destruction of Kshatriya Vamsha after they started taking Dharma for a ride. They started destroying Dharma, abusing their powers. He starts completely decimating them. But however, MAA Kaali, sometimes when Parashurama keeps on going to Mahadeva, the guru of Parashurama is Mahadeva, it is Shiva. Guru. Okay, many people say Ishta, but actually it is Guru itself. So Guru and Ishta, both together he considered as Shiva. But MAA Kaali, who was the Nimitta itself, because of which Parashurama's entire purpose itself is, she is the one who started. So she also thinks, okay, he doesn't come to me now. There will be a time when he will have to come to me, because MAA Kaali, you know, she is such an energy that how are divine feminine? How is generally a feminine energy? They like to be kept well. They like to be kept well. That is their main thing. So MAA Kaali, who is the instigator of that entire life itself, when Parashurama continuously goes to Mahadeva for all the boons, for all the Vidya, all the warfare knowledge, he takes training from Mahadeva itself. He does not take training from anybody else. His guru is Mahadeva, but MAA Kaali is the instigator. So what she does is she makes a small twist in the story so that he comes back to her and makes her the Ishta. Again, here also, in this video also, we will realize that for Parashurama, Bhagavan Parashurama also, the Ishta was MAA Kaali. How? After getting all the boons and realizing his purpose, that after the cow was stolen, he starts killing the Kshatriyas 21 times. He before the battle ensues and goes to such an extent, he starts getting all the Kshatriya knowledge, all the warfare knowledge from Mahadeva itself, takes divine boons from him, where he fights against Mahadeva itself and impresses him, and he gets so many weapons and all that. This all details you can get it online. Just read it whenever you are free. All the divine weapons that he had, he starts on his journey and destroys every king in his path. Left and right, he is destroying all kings that are abusing the poor peasants, poor people, poor religious people, religious institutions that are being taken for a ride, where Dharma is taking a hit. He destroys everybody. There is one Ishwaku king called Suchandra. Whatever Parashurama in the battlefield throws at him, whatever weapon that Mahadeva has given to him, including the Trishula, when he throws it at him, it hits his chest and becomes a garland around his neck. Parashurama is completely stunned, because when you are using the divine weapon of Mahadeva, you would have used it after your entire effort goes in vain, and you are realizing that you might lose this battle. Only then you will use your most powerful weapon that your guru has given you directly, and this Mahadeva. Parashurama is completely shocked. Then he realizes that he can see the chavi, the shadow of a very powerful deity inside that king. He realizes that the Ishwaku king Suchandra is not a normal guy. He's not a normal Kshatriya that he can. He's not just some blessing he has and he is a very strong king. No, he realizes that Suchandra is a Maha Sadhaka of Bhadrakali, and he visualizes her standing behind him on a lion. You can also say probably one of the most beautiful sights when Ma is just smiling at him. See, he went all over. You went to Mahadeva, you did his penance, you did all the, you had called him the guru and all, fine. I am the one who gave you a purpose. I sat with you as the divine cow, waited till I get kidnapped in a helpless way, and then I instigated you into your purpose of your birth itself. See, Parashurama, the avatars, very rarely the avatars know that what is their purpose. Parashurama especially did not know that he is Vishu Tattva. He was just a righteous, he considered himself a righteous Brahmin, and he was just walking around with the weapons. All knowledges he had. That is how he considered himself. Parashurama never gave Vishwarupa, or he never gave the darshan and all. He never called, I am Mahavishnu. Please realize what I am. He never said that. So he went as a great student to Mahadeva. He did his tapasya, and Mahadeva started training him as the guru. But who was the one who gave the purpose? Adi Shakti. And the divine feminine is sometimes a little naughty. So she is standing there and waiting for him to realize. So then he realizes, okay, in spite of having the weapons of Mahadeva itself, I am unable to do anything to this king, the Ishwaku king Suchandra. Why? Then he realizes that he is a Mahasadhaka of Ma Kaali, and he is blessed by her. He is you please read the story. Ishwaku king Suchandra, and how Parashurama realizes that he has hit a wall in spite of having all the weapons of Mahadeva, and he is no longer able to move forward, because even the most powerful weapon of Mahadeva, when Parashurama throws that at the king, it becomes a garland around the king's neck, and he visualizes Ma Kaali sitting there behind him, smiling at him. He is my sadhaka. You can bring any weapon you want. I am the Adi Shakti. Everything revolves around me. You might be the Vishwa Tattva itself, but you will not be able to move forward. I gave you a purpose. Now you do my sadhana. Then Parashurama prostrates, lies down there itself, and begins the sadhana of Bhadrakali, Ma Kaali. Bhadrakali is beautiful. She is Saumya. She is relaxed. She is not the Ugra Swarupa. She is calm. She is auspicious. She brings great fortune. That is why the king had the blessing of Bhadrakali. The kings and all, generally they'll have Bhadrakali will be their main deity, because she is always auspicious and giver of great fortune. She is the calmer version of Ma Kaali. Kali only, but calmer. She is not in the battle form or in the Smashana Rupa or in the Mahakali Rupa. She is calm and blessing. She is a motherly figure. We can almost compare her to almost like the Durga Mata form, but of Kaali. Alright, so he gets into the sadhana of Ma Kaali, and then she grants him a weapon, which, now look at the naughtiness of Ma Kaali. She says, okay, you have all these weapons that Mahadeva has given you. I know. He is my beloved husband. I know, but I am Ma Kaali, you know, I am Adi Shakti, I am everything. So, I will now give you a weapon with which you please keep other weapons aside. Look at her naughtiness. You keep the other weapons aside and you can destroy my sadhaka. Post that, I will give him moksha. Since you have this purpose of destroying all adharmi kshatriyas, I know that my own son, my own sadhaka has been adharmi. Ma Kaali sadhakas, if you generally notice that she always gives them a little space. You might have few extra births if you are a sadhaka of Ma Kaali, because she will give you that little space. She will strengthen you, because it is very difficult to keep Ma Kaali's sadhakas in order, because she sometimes doesn't like to be challenged by any norms. She cannot be restricted by any norms. She is beyond all that. So if Ma Kaali sadhaka has attained her blessings, even Mahadeva's weapon, Parashurama throwing Mahadeva's weapon could not defeat that guy. Think of this for a second. Dwell on this topic. Mahadeva's weapon, to the direct Shishya of Mahadeva, that is Parashurama, when he throws it at the Ishwaku king Suchandra, it becomes a garland of flowers, and she's standing there and laughing at him. Then who is Adi Shakti? Who is Kaali? Look at her. Look, this thing should go into your head, should strike you. How powerful is she? And then she says, okay, you have done my sadhana. Anyway, she was with him as the cow itself. So she also is well aware. She was just waiting for him to realize who she is. At that moment, Parashurama realizes the sheer depth of Ma Kaali. Adi Shakti's strength, he realizes at that point. And from that point, you will notice that there are multiple instances where he has been in the sadhana of Ma Kaali and Adi Shakti. That will go. As we go further, we'll address that also. She gives him a weapon. With that, he destroys the sadhaka. Now what happens? Obviously, the sadhaka of Ma Kaali that Suchandra was, he gets moksha. That she ensures. because she has protected him, and she has also given the weapon to the Vishnu Avatara Parashurama to destroy him. Now obviously he is granted moksha. Beautiful double messages are there inside this. Given protection, but Vishnu Avatara has to do dharma, allows her own sadhaka to be taken out. However, definitely he is attained moksha. Because if MAA Kaali herself is coming and protecting you with Mahadeva's weapon, somebody could not hit you, then what is the level of protection he must be having, and what is his level? That's why I said Mahasadhaka of MAA Kaali. The king was Mahasadhaka of MAA Kaali, could not be touched. So, from that minute, if you notice, Parashurama's story completely attaches with MAA Kaali in many levels. Number one, Kamadhenu, the cow who was the nimitta. Number two, her coming in person and making him realize that I am everything. Why am I the Adi Shakti? Nothing without me. Please understand what you are. You have gone to him. You took all the Vidya. But how will you defeat my Shishya? How will you defeat my Sadhaka? You can't. So do my sadhana. I will grant him moksha. And your purpose is also done. Beautifully said. This episode just stands in my head like, what a beautiful message she has given, demonstrated her Shakti, and also beautifully placed herself, given the purpose. This is how MAA Kaali comes. There is another message. You might be the greatest sadhaka of Mahadeva, but the sadhana of Mahadeva or Bhairava or any other forms of Mahadeva is incomplete without the sadhana of MAA Kaali. This message she has given now. This episode, this instance reveals to us the greatest truth, that Bhairava sadhana alone, Mahakala sadhana alone is not complete. If you are really progressing, she will come. How did she come? She came in front of Parashurama and gave this message. Very good. Congratulations, you have done well. You have the greatest powers. You can destroy any king now. Nobody can stand before you. But why don't you try and take out my sadhaka? When Parashurama is shocked, she gives a beautiful message. If you pray to Mahadeva, if you pray to Bhairava, if you pray to Mahakala and attain oneness with them, please understand, I will come and stand in front of you, and you will realize the truth that I am the Adi Shakti. This is why we say that if you go too deep into the sadhana of Mahakala or Bhairava or any forms of Sadashiva, she will come. This is why we say that. So in Parashurama's life, it has happened. And from then he becomes, obviously everybody prays to Adi Shakti. Anybody who's a devout student itself of Mahadeva, obviously has always been praying. But if you are attaining oneness that Mahadeva is giving you a weapon itself, then you should also do the proper sadhana, full-fledged sadhana of MAA Kaali. Or whichever is a corresponding form of the divine feminine, because ultimately it's all Adi Shakti. MAA Kaali is Adi Shakti. So that message is not understood by all of us. This is why I say that if you get into the sadhana of Bhairava, she will come, because she also has a role. Beautifully in Parashurama, that is Mahavishnu's avatar itself, she gave the message. This message, please understand very clearly what she is trying to say. You might be the greatest sadhaka and successful sadhaka of Mahadeva or Bhairava. Please understand, I am Adi Shakti. I am the cause. You move from your place because the cow was killed. I was the cow. Please understand who I am. All those weapons have no value if you do not understand who I am. How will you kill this king? I am protecting him. Use all your weapons. All his weapons were left absolutely useless. He was in utter shock. Parashurama, the avatar of Mahavishnu, was in shock. How is it possible? Then he realizes, sitting on the lion, one of the rupams of MAA Kaali is smiling at her. So Chuchandra, the sadhaka of MAA Kaali, gives the message at that point. You might attain oneness with Mahadeva, you still need to do the sadhana of the divine feminine. It is only then complete. Beautiful message. Understand, every second of Mahavishnu's avatars, you will understand the other deities giving very simple messages. People skip it. They simply say, oh, he was okay. No, Bhadrakali came and he did her sadhana, he got the weapon and he moved on. But what is the message? Understand that. This sadhana of Mahadeva, the sadhana of Mahakala, the sadhana of Bhairava, all of this is incomplete. Any form of Shiva sadhana is incomplete without attaching Mahakali or any of her forms, whichever is as per your soul's progression. And not everybody can directly go to her and attain oneness. She is the strictest form of Adi Shakti. You will have to keep her as the highest, absolutely the highest in your life. You cannot keep her as second, third, fourth, no chance. She'll be one. If there is anything above one, there only you will have to keep her. Message was given to Parashurama itself, who was Mahavishnu's greatest Dharma Rakshak avatar. Mahavishnu, the preserver's greatest Dharma Raksha avatar. What more you want? What more proof is required? You might be in the sadhana of Mahadeva. Who will strengthen you? Mahadeva is absolutely in love with Mahakali. Understand this. Understand this. Even he loses power because of love on her. She is the one who takes his entire energy. Understand the power of Mahakali. She takes the entire energy out of Parashurama. Sorry, I'm very sorry. She takes the entire energy out of Mahadeva. She holds it within her. And she also moves. So, she is the one who is driving and walking around with the Mahavishnu avatars. In the last video we spoke. Be it Mata Sita, be it Radhama, be it Panchali, be it Kamadhenu the cow. She also is rendering the weapons of Mahadeva powerless when it is used by Mahavishnu's greatest Dharma Raksha avatar, the most aggressive Parashurama. Wait, you have forgotten who I am. I am the Adi Shakti. Come to me first. Beautiful messages. The cause, the effect, the whole script itself is her. You're all running after Bhairava. Realize. We need Mahakali. We need Mahakali. Bhairava will come and sit here, but you will find that something is deeply missing. You've gone so deep and Bhairava is giving you a weapon to use. You will still find that she laughs at you. Okay, one day you will realize it is I who will complete you. This message was given in that episode when Parashurama attacks the Ishvaku King Suchandra. Beautiful. My favorite. I just love this. I just love this. And you know how he gives it back to Ma. After that moment, he realizes the entire path that he had. Kamadhenu, the cow, is Mahakali. With all the weapons that Mahadeva gave, she was able to stop him like this. Don't move. Stand there and understand who I am. Realization got. After that, when Parashurama looks for a place where after his purpose is more or less done, he wants to sit down and meditate. He gets a boon that he can do it in the belt of that Tulnadu belt, right from Kanyakumari, somewhere near Gokarna is what they're claiming. That belt where Parashurama meditated and created the villages, that entire thing, the Kerala belt, which is said to be the land of Parashurama itself. It was under the sea. So when he goes there and he shoots his axe, and the sea runs away and the land is recovered at that spot, he places the Naga because under the salt water the entire land had gone completely become unfertile. He then places the Nagas there. Kerala and the entire Tulnadu belt up to this Mangalore and all is the most fertile, and even today that forest cannot be touched. Why? It is established by the greatest Vishnu Avatara, Parashurama. But he has no deity, no spirits, no corporate companies, no government. Nobody can touch the land that is established by Parashurama. Companies try to put their factories, they will have to run away. Something or the other will go wrong. Why? Because Parashurama is set. And you know why? There were some ancient Shiva alayams in Kerala wherein Parashurama established Bhadrakali. One of the temples established by him is called the Mother Temple of Bhadrakali. And that mother temple then gave 64 other Bhadrakali Kshetrams in Kerala, which is why most people don't know this. We associate Kali worship highest in Bengal. Please understand that Parashurama, after learning about Ma Kali in that episode with Suchandra, he actually gets into the sadhana of Ma Kali and establishes Ma Kali in Kerala. God's own country that we call established by Parashurama was in dedication to Ma Kali, wherein he realizes what she is, how powerful she is, and how Even after attaining oneness with Mahadeva, it is Ma Kaali who will simply stop you. She is beautiful. She is the most beautiful deity. Nobody is more beautiful than her. But she is naughty also. What does she say? Come to me, nobody can touch you. There is no deity above me. Nobody is above me. Any of the avatars, I have to be there to facilitate it. I have to teach the avatars what to do. I have to dance with the avatars, walk with the avatars, help them. Then who is the mother? That is why we say the Divine Mother is everything. Realize this truth. As you all run after Bhairava, realize that even he wants you to have her. There is no progress of any kind in spirituality without the Divine Mother. Even if you attain oneness with Mahadeva, and even if you are the avatar of Mahavishnu in the most Dharma Raksha Rupam, that is Parashurama, she will just wait. Why don't you understand who I am? She will wait for you to understand. You will realize that your most powerful weapons are becoming a garland around your enemy, because your enemy has done sadhana of Ma Kaali. She will send him in his path, and you, when you realize, then she will let you pass. That is how powerful she is. So, the nimitta that Kamadhenu, the cow, was Bhadrakali, who teaches Parashurama again that you need to realize who I am. You did the sadhana of Mahadeva, you got all his weapons, he is everything to you. But do you not know who I am? Then how will you proceed? Why don't you use all your weapons at my sadhaka? All your greatest powerful weapons, use it at my sadhaka. Let's see how effective it is. Let's see. Kuch nahi hua. Parashurama, the greatest, the angriest God, could not proceed further. And when he decides to sit down and meditate, form all the villages of Kerala, what does he do? He establishes the greatest Ma Kaali Kshetras, some of the greatest, most powerful Ma Kaali Kshetras in Kerala. So why is Kerala God's own country? Why does Kerala have the highest, one of the highest Naga Kshetrams? Why are so many, why is such high levels of Naga worships done in Kerala? It was established by Parashurama. Why is the highest number of Vana Durga Kshetrams? Vana Durga, another name of Ma Kaali. Vana Durga, the goddess of the forests. Ma Kaali's name. You will find the highest in Kerala and the Tulunadu belt all the way till Mangalore and all. You will find it the highest in there. Forest cannot be removed over there. You cannot, if some big corporate says I want to put a factory, you cannot put it. Political problems will come, land problems will come, flood will come, you will not be able to do anything. That land is protected by Parashurama and he established Ma Kaali there. So highest number of Vana Durga Kshetrams are there. Nobody can touch it. Untouchable pieces of land these are. Why? Realize the power of Ma Kaali. Who is she? Even if you are a Vishnu avatar itself, if you are blessed by Mahadeva and his weapons itself, she will send one of her sadhaka and say, why don't you defeat him? At that moment you will realize and you will fall on your feet. Now I realize who you are. I was running after Mahadeva, the greatest Shakti, the greatest energy ball on earth, and he has blessed me, but how is all my weapons just becoming a garland of flowers around this man? Who is he? She comes and says, just a sadhaka that I am protecting. That is Ma Kaali. Her entire footprints, her entire blueprints, her entire signature is there throughout the cosmic events. She has played everywhere. She has established land masses. She has worked through the avatars, given them protection, taken them, taught them lessons, made them run around also. She has caused events which gave you the greatest guidebooks in the world, Ramayana, Mahabharata, she was there. Realize. It is when you realize who they are that you truly understand why you are doing their sadhana. Why are you doing the sadhana of Ma Kaali? Why did Parashurama establish Ma Kaali in Kerala? Why is there so many Vana Durga, a name of Ma Kaali Kshetrams in Kerala? Why there is impossibility in setting up huge factories and destroying the forests of that entire belt? Why the Bhuta Kolas are still happening? Even the people who are actually doing this, They need not know the backstory because in their mind they are completely focused on that. They need not know the story. They will continue to do it. If you're born in that blood, it will keep on happening. Why? Because she wants it to happen. She was established by Parashurama. Now coming back to Parashurama itself, this avatar is very important. I personally consider him as the biggest Vishnu Tattva, above Sri Rama who went back to Vaikuntha, above Sri Krishna who went back to Vaikuntha. They finished their purpose, lived their life, gave the lessons, they left. Why Parashurama is still here? Because the Vishnu Tattva within him is so strong that he is still needed. Where he was in the beginning of the Treta Yuga, he gave the greatest and the most brutal lessons during Treta Yuga, and now he'll come back during Kali Yuga because again, no time for giving lessons and all. Again, the axe will come. At the end of the Kali Yuga, the preserver will be back. At the end of Kali Yuga, the preserver is back. The point I raised during the initial part of the video, I always think, is it Kali Yuga, is it Kali Yuga? Why Parashurama will come back and teach Kalki, they say. Why? Parashurama, who established Kaali in some of the most powerful kshetras in Kerala, the entire belt that cannot be touched, and the entire Vanadurga belt is also set by him. Why is that Yuga called Kali Yuga or is it Kali Yuga? I don't know. I am a nobody. I might not. Why don't we all sit and think on this? Why is Parashurama kept behind and not Sri Krishna or Sri Rama to inculcate the warfare knowledge to Kalki avataram? What is going to be Kalki? Very deep questions when you come to Parashurama. He is an absolute mystery. To me, if you need Dharma Raksha, you should first understand that it is the cause, it is the purpose of Mahavishnu. Dharma Raksha is his main thing, that's his forte. And he's still around in the form of Parashurama. And if there is a need, he will come. As of now, the balance is set. Sadhakas are there, Asuras also there. All are running around in the social media world. 1 lakh of Mahishasuras, 1 lakh of Sadhakas. It's all balanced. There is no need to become hyper and try to protect anything. There is no need. But when the need comes and the Sadhakas started falling, they're not able to sustain and the Asuras go up, then he will come. Who will come? The one who's still here. Parashurama will come. And to me, he is the Shishya of Mahadeva and the Sadhaka of Mahakali. Otherwise, there is no need for him to realize that he is not able to destroy one of the Kshatriyas only because he was a Sadhaka of Mahakali protected by Bhadrakali. That moment he realizes that, and he establishes Bhadrakali in Kerala. The land that he was booned, okay, you can sit there and that is your land. There you can meditate. If you are able to move the sea back, they say he throws his axe, sea moves out, he establishes the Nagas to make the land fertile. He establishes the entire forest belt. He establishes Bhadrakali there. In a Shiva temple he establishes. Why did he establish Bhadrakali in a temple that was actually a Shivalayam? Because he has realized that you might be the Vishnu Tattva itself, but you will also be running after Mahadeva. But the Upasana of Mahadeva is complete only when you realize that half of him is the Adi Shakti. As we proceed into Kali Yuga, more and more realization needs to come up that Adi Shakti is the strongest half of Shiva who moves. Shiva is always in the deep state of meditation, and when you call him destroyer, it is a Shakti that comes to destroy. It is a Shakti that comes to cause the nimittas. It is Shakti that brings Vishnu. Mahavishnu comes because she will be running around near him. She will be a cow, very innocent. I am so weak, I am just a cow, I am just blessing everybody. But that cow is Ma Kaali. When he forgets and runs after only Shiva, she gets angry. Okay, why don't you try and defeat one of my sadhaka with all the weapons that you have got, yeah? Come on, try it. Can't do anything. Now you understand who I am? Bhadrakali, sitting on the lion. She shows herself to him. Then he realizes, oh, my guru has given me all these weapons, none of it works. Bhadrakali. Then he establishes her in a Shivalayam. He says, in the Shivalayam, in the temple of Mahadeva in Kerala, he establishes Bhadrakali because he realizes She is Adishakti. And no matter how much of sadhana you do for Mahadeva or any of the forms of Shiva, if you do not touch upon Ma Kaali, you might have more births simply to realize that truth. And if you touch upon Ma Kaali, even if you are an avatar of Mahavishnu wants to destroy you, she will give you moksha and also protect you. Ma Kaali, the mother, you know how be it human beings or be it just a dog or an animal of any sort, have you seen the mothers, how they protect the kids? That is exactly how Ma Kaali is. You throw Mahadeva's weapon also, she'll protect. That message is so beautifully put across in any of her stories you take. Mahadeva's weapon being rendered unable to attack Kshatriya, whose destruction is the birth purpose of that avatara itself. This is a very, very strong message, and that avatara then later on going and establishing Ma Kaali, Bhadra Kaali, the Kali that he saw when he was unable to kill the king in Kerala, in a Shivalayam. Therein he realizes and gives the message that in the worship of Shiva, if you keep Shakti away, you are not in the complete worship of Shiva. Shiva Shakti can never be separated from Shiva. It is Shiva and Shakti. Shakti is the one who uses Shiva's energy. Shiva is in yoga. In a yogic trance, he doesn't move. It is Shakti who can take and move him. She is the one who comes with the entire power of Shiva itself. Imagine that for a second. Shiva, the most powerful tattva, just sitting. He's not moving, he's in yoga. Shakti lifts it and comes with the entire power. Now, how powerful is she? She holds Shiva's entire energy within her. She is the entire creation itself. In Kali Yuga, it is time for us to realize all the small signatures she has put in the entire history of the cosmic world. That she is everything. Everything is running around in her. If you simply Google some of the photos of Adi Shakti, you will see Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu sitting in her heart. And how she plays the games. This is why any of the greatest spiritualists, as they progress further and further, they will start talking a lot about Ma Shakti, because just like Parashurama, with all the weapons, they also realize that, oh my God, with all these weapons, somebody who has a little blessing of Ma Kaali, I am not able to defeat him. That realization, the faster you get, the faster you can go in the right path. So this is why I like Parashurama, the avatara of Mahavishnu, a lot. I consider him that if you are able to club his sadhana with Kala Bhairava, that is the greatest Vairagi that you can ever become. But realize that somebody who is a Grihastha, you need to be really strong to get into the path of Parashurama, because Bhairava, okay, first understand that Parashurama, he did not hesitate from killing his own mother when she was adharmic. But at the same time, he took revenge also for his father's death. He will not handle even the smallest hint of injustice or adharma. That is his nature. I love the avatara that is Parashurama. He is the greatest Vishnu Tattva in my own opinion. I do not value any other avatar as much as I love Parashurama. I believe that he is the one who can make you the biggest Vairagi, because he is not bothered about any other messages. Vidya. Take Vidya, be a Vairagi, protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. Takes the weapons directly from Mahadeva, establishes Ma Kaali in Kerala. Who is my Ishta? I own Kula Devi in Kerala, from Kerala, established by Parashurama. So how can I not have great affection towards this avatara of Mahavishnu? And he's still around, because Sri Rama gave his messages for the Dwapar Yuga's first, because before Sri Krishna came, Sri Rama's messages were running through in Dwapar Yuga. It was meant to keep the balance in order. And Sri Krishna comes, and towards the initial, before the end of Kali Yuga, all his messages have to be understood and applied. But look at this message. It is Parashurama who will come for the finishing. And he is the one who established Ma Kaali. So, imagine the amount of Shakti within this avatar. The entire belt of Kerala, if you see, the worship of Bhadrakali is very high. People don't realize because they're very generally quite silent in this. They're not very, exposed in terms of rest of the world. India might not know much about Bhadrakali worship in Kerala. They're extreme. It is established by Parashurama, and he is the only avatar still around because the Vishnu Tattva has a job to do at the end of Kali Yuga. This Vishnu Tattva, there is no messages and all. This is the core Vishnu Tattva. That is a proof that this is the core Vishnu Tattva itself. And Kalki will be someone very similar to Parashurama. It will be a Vairagi of the greatest levels. He will learn from Parashurama and he will destroy. And everything ceases to exist and back to Satyuga. So anybody interested in Dharma Raksha should realize the path of Parashurama. You should realize the blessings of MAA Bhadrakali to Parashurama. You should realize how she gave a very simple message that she is the cause, she is the reason, she is the whole script. The whole script written, directed, produced by MAA Kaali. Any avatar you take. Ultimately, what is Kali Yuga? The name itself is, many people have sent me messages also, why is it Kali Yuga? I said Kali, what is Kali? When even Kaali is spelled K-A-L-I. I like to use two A's, but makes you wonder. Maybe 1 lakh years later somebody will be able to find the answer through stringent meditation on what it is. Is Kali really the Asura, or is it just Kaali coming to destroy because of, does Kaali come back to destroy the entire Adharmis herself, where she becomes the Asura to destroy that? Is that what is going to happen? Is it going to be MAA Kaali herself that is going to end the creation and reset personally by getting down onto the battlefield completely? Is that what is going to happen? I don't know. Nobody knows. We'll wait and see if we are around. Even if we are not around, in physical bodies we'll be there, and without physical bodies as bhutas. We'll all be around as part of the Para Brahman. So we'll all see that. There is no end as such. Your ego that I identify right now might not exist, but definitely you are going to see the end of Kali Yuga. Be sure of that. Physical body or not physical body is the question. So I believe everybody should read about and meditate on Parashurama. He is the one who will instill dharma into you. He is also the one who will accelerate MAA Kaali Upasana too. This is very important. MAA Kaali brings Sri Krishna in Kali Yuga so that you understand how to live and don't go and get stuck into some war and get destroyed. But she loves Parashurama too. He has done the sadhana of MAA Kaali. She absolutely loves Parashurama too. She has been in his ashrama as a cow. Understand the amount of love that she will have for him. So do the sadhana of Parashurama also. Take a sankalpa for 48 days. Do it. Be extremely vairagi during that time. Be careful also. Keep invoking MAA Kaali for stability of the mind. If you are into the sadhana of Parashurama, stability of the mind is very important. MAA Durga you invoke. Let the mother sit. Do not directly start entering the... If you succeed it, you will not be able to digest adharma at all. Even a small traffic signal issue also, you will not be able to digest. Dharma becomes the core. Even the smallest hint of dharma, you get angry. Many of us are invoking Bhairava for Dharma Raksha. But you should understand that Bhairava, before even being able to digest Bhairava, think of Parashurama for a minute. He would cut off his own mother's head. He would kill an entire Vamsha 21 times just to avenge each of the adharmic cut on his father's body. He goes to battle against the greatest king of that time, who has even defeated Ravana. The first cow stealing incident, when he wages war on Kartiviri Arjuna, that king has apparently defeated Ravana itself. And Parashurama goes and destroys that king for a cow. Of course, that cow was MAA Kaali, but what is the message? He holds the cow so sacred, dharma, Because cow is the entire Deva Loka, Gau Mata. We say Gau Mata, he gives you the message, Gau Mata is Kaali, the Adi Shakti itself, entire Deva Loka sits within that cow. Why is the cow so Indian breed of cow? Why is it so important? Because the cow is Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is Ma Kaali, and within her sits the entire Devaloka, right from Mahadeva, Mahavishnu, everybody is in it. Mahaganapati, Kartikeya, all Indradeva, everybody is in the cow. When that cow gets stolen, it is a message that dharma has been stolen. That is why Parashurama starts on his path. So why was the Kamadhenu, the cow, so important? Because it is dharma being stolen. The Devaloka itself was being stolen. That is the Tatparya of a mere cow. Why? What is this? What is this? So my neighbor stole my newspaper, so I'll go and cut his head. Is that? No. Why is the cow so important? Because Kamadhenu, the cow, embodies the entire Devaloka. The Devaloka symbolically itself was kidnapped by a mere king. A very blessed king, very powerful king who has defeated Ravana itself apparently. And he avenges that, and therein begins his path. After that, every cut he avenges. And then he is put into hibernation, because in Treta and Dwapar Yuga, if Parashurama is put into it, then the message for that entire humanity needs to come through Sri Rama and Sri Krishna. He is put into hibernation. Of course, there are multiple appearances where he keeps on coming up. So this is why Parashurama is an avatar I absolutely love. Mainly because he is a sadhaka of Ma Kaali, who is my Ishta, and if you talk about Ma Kaali, I just start flying, like what all she has done, where all she has been. There is absolutely no avatar of Mahavishnu who also she has not, if she feels that, okay, he is not giving me enough attention, come here. Like a child, she calls, come here. Do you realize you can't move forward? Do you see who I am? Now go and do my sadhana. That is how she is so beautiful. Mother, the mother within her. You cannot ignore Ma Kaali. She is everything, and she is everything. And later on, him going and establishing some of the most powerful kshetras of Ma Kaali in the land he reclaimed from the sea. Beautiful. So Parashurama too can bring Ma Kaali to you. But Ma Kaali in the Kali Yuga will bring Sri Krishna to you, so that you have the brains. Beautiful how Ma Kaali has used Mahadeva to give the Shakti Pidas. Ma Kaali has used Mahavishnu to give the messages, protect Dharma. It is a matter of great curiosity on what will be the end of Kali Yuga. Will it be Ma Kaali? Because you can see the rise in her worship coming very soon. Everybody is talking Bhairava, Bhairava, Bhairava. He is a pedestal. If so many of you are talking about Bhairava, that means she is going to come and stand. That is why you are talking about Bhairava. Anyway, I wanted to talk many things, but I sort of went into that flow and became fully about Ma Kaali and Parashurama. Very important avatars. Dharma Raksha, you want to start, you begin with Parashurama. Then you realize and understand whether you can digest Parashurama first before we invoke some of the astral gods, because Bhairava cut off Brahma's head itself. We cannot even, we don't have the guts to pray to Parashurama because he cut the head of his mother, and he is so ruthless when he sees adharma. But at least he's still operating at the earthy realms. Bhairava doesn't care about the earthy realms. He will shed blood in the astral realms. Brahma ka head he'll cut off. Adharmi hai, forget earth, king, queen, prime minister, chief minister and all, he is not thinking about. Bhairava is earthy, Brahma. Parashurama is still here and running after Kshatriyas and the worldly creatures. He sets dharma on the Mrityuloka. Mrityulok mein baithe hain Parashuram. Bhagavan Parashuram. Bhairava establishes dharma in the astral realms. When we are afraid to invoke Parashurama, you understand how much of respect and piousness you should have in your heart when you invoke Bhairava. And how powerful he must be. So when you find adharma going up, if you are feeling yourself being brought down by adharma, Parashurama, Bhagavan Parashurama's sankalpa is definitely something you can take for 41 or 48 days. Be very strong during that time, be extremely clean, be a brahmachari during that time, be celibate. Understand what his birth was. He lived in an ashram. He respected the cow so much. Dharma is everything. You have to be mentally clean, physically clean. Don't indulge in food and all that. If you're planning to do the sadhana of Parashurama, do not get into any illegal activities. Do not even pay bribe. You cannot pay commissions and get some things done. You have to be so clean. Kali Yuga, you cannot easily invoke Parashurama because we are all so dirty today. To survive, we have to do so much of crap. That is why Sri Krishna's messages, we have to survive with his messages only because he has given the tricks. Parashurama, if you really have the guts to invoke, Parashurama, then you can have the guts to invoke Kala Bhairava, because इन्होंने तो मृत्यु लोका में ही said the dharma karya, but Bhairava said dharma in astral. Brahma ka head he cut off. So understand who stands where. So you should be able to analyze these informations and make sense out of them. Our entire cosmic history is so beautiful. Understand the depth of messages. Dharma is said by so many gods. Why you are not worshipping Parashurama? Because you might end up making some mistakes for which he will punish you and destroy you. Well, so how pious you have to be when you invoke Bhairava, who is not even earth, Mrityulok ke Bhagwan nahi hai. He comes here. They can traverse, but I don't think he is going to be, his Parabrahma Rupan doesn't reside on Mrityuloka. He is astral presence. If you invoke him, how clean you should be very clean. Understand that in all this, if you have to somehow survive, Ma Kaali is the one. She will protect you from even Mahadeva's weapon. If somebody who has attained oneness with Mahadeva also tries to destroy you, she will protect you. That is how powerful she is. So a lot of information has gone in. Watch this video multiple times. If you find that this channel is useful, subscribe to it. Because some notification I received from YouTube that all of you are watching and not subscribing. That is weird. I believe that's it. So if you're feeling extremely adventurous and if you feel you're extremely pious, you can club one Vishnu Avatara and Shiva Avatara, that is Parashurama and Kala Bhairava. Both are extremely high in the establishment of dharma. But before clubbing these two, please take the kripa of Ma Kaali, so that even if you are doing something silly, your head is saved by her. She is above everything. That's why. She stands on Mahakala Bhairava's chest. So where is she? She can protect you. Okay? I think we are done. Be strong. Life will be difficult. As you go more and more into sadhana, you are pulling all the karma. You want to get out of here and float around without a physical body. Be part of the Para Brahman. Traverse all over wherever you want. Even after leaving the physical body, you will be establishing dharma for 1,000 years on earth only. So I saw a comment wherein why should I leave the physical body? I'll sit here. You have to go to a job. You have to earn money in the next birth. You have to take care of kids, you have to go through traffic, you have to go through everything, so much of pain. But imagine not having a body and floating around and establishing dharma. It is not Ma Kaali who comes and gives you small nimitta. Somebody had noticed the flower falling and they had mentioned in the comment. You think Ma Kaali's astral presence will be too powerful to make small things happen. She has a hive mind where she connects with the bhutas and pretas do all this. Small things, they are around you. We want to become that. That is the goal of moksha from physical body. Don't immediately think that, how will I go to a theatre? How will I go to the mall? You will be in an eternal state of bliss. That is why all of these great spiritualists who realized everything ran behind that. Anyway, without divulging further, I think I'm done for today. I will try to put one or two more videos. Ma Kaali, I wanted to go deeper into Bhairava, but she has been on my mind. And the attention is now moving towards her, not in my control. Bhairava Kalike namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha.